Welcome, friends, to I almost said District 420 Block Party. Welcome, everybody. Block Party Friday night with a couple of crypto Twitter degens. We spend a ton of time in the crypto space. I'm a community lead in Avagachi DAO, No Futuristic. You are deep into the GameFi space with Orium and also Avagachi DAO director. So we do this all day and just here to catch up on our week and discuss some new alpha. Maybe get into some stories, some things that happened this week. But before we do that, how was your week?
My week was great, man. I've been, what did I do this week? It's been a blast. I've been just talking a lot of Twitter spaces, Polygon stuff. I I went out and bought a Ute. I bought the exact bottom of Utes and I'm up 30% on my bet. So I'm still
Nice.
holding, but no intent. I am as flippant as they are. I'm not. They're leaving Polygon. They're leaving my wallet. I'm just want some, some good profit real quick. And I've been chilling, touching some grass, just working my ass off, that kind of thing. How about you, friend?
Yeah, same here, man. I've been spending a lot of time with my dog. Got back into some fitness this week. I did some yoga actually this week, and also caught up with a friend who I haven't spoken to in about maybe 10 years. I just reconnected with. So just kind of caught up with him, and he used to be a paramedic, so he used to be in the same kind of field that I was in. He recently left his job as well, so we kind of connected on that level. And now he's working back in the film industry because where I live, there's a pretty large film industry, and so he's gotten back into that. And it was kind of cool hearing his journey going back, going from there to that, and then back to where he was. So it was cool. Yeah, it's just like you say, touching grass and reconnecting with other people a bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's sometimes good to get away from the computer, get away from all the internets and all the craziness that can be social media.
100%. Like, I logged on yesterday after a couple days, and apparently there was like a market crash. I'm like, oh, the market crashed, I guess. I don't have these reactions in the bull market, but being in the market conditions we're in right now and experiencing the things that we have experienced, I'm not surprised. I'm like, whatever. Like, come at me, bro. What else are you gonna do? Go down another 50%. I'm almost like numb to that pain,
Yeah, it's I remember my first major market flash crash. It was in DeFi summer 2020, and Ethereum was like around $400, and I had I just in like a minute, it was like 2 a.m. Like I was in Nashville, and it just dumped 50%, and I freaked out. I ended up having these limit orders in that bought up
Whoa.
all the not even all the way down, but down to like maybe 350, and then I panic sold everything. And then within a few days, I remember because I had Chainlink, I was buying Chainlink at $18 like a link, and it just dumped down to $8, and I freaked out and I sold everything. And then within like a week, it kind of rebounded and kept going up. So I learned a very valuable lesson. So 10-15%, I don't even sneeze at that. This is not that big a deal.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you. Yeah, GM, we got Ernani in the house with us as well, and Choina.
Yes, Ernani just doing some work in the Abagachi DAO. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Talk about the proposal that he just put up. Ernani, you're in here. Can you actually drop a link to the proposal so that the people who are here checking it out can actually go look at it?
Yeah, let's get that up there.
I gotta close my door. The dog came in and just opened the door.
Oh man, your dog knows how to open doors too, eh? Mine
Yeah,
just
I didn't
figured
close
that
it all
out.
the way because. Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we got these like little lever doors. It's not like a doorknob, and so he knows how to certain doors, like the backyard. He knows how to paw it and get out. So
Smart dog.
surprised me the other day. That's for sure.
Actually, I'll bring up the proposal. I have it over here now.
I see. This is the conversation. Yeah, that's the discussion there.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into that in a bit. It should be a good read for all, and yeah, it's just been crazy. Did you hear also like with the flash crash yesterday? If I'm not mistaken, it was like apparently off of the news that Tesla sold off like $370 million of Bitcoin, but within 2 minutes, like once this a few minutes, everything jumps 15%, and then all of a sudden the SEC announces, or somebody announces that not the SEC, but somebody announces that they are going to greenlight the Ethereum ETF, and then everything bounces back up. So it's like there's this like slight hint of market manipulation there, like some potentially fake news that dumps the market, and then all of a sudden the super bullish news that pumps it immediately. So it's like a huge like 20-30% swing if you bought at the bottom and then sold at the top, just crazy.
I think this market's really easy to manipulate at the bottom because people already had that fear, and so that fear can easily be taken advantage of. You got tons of like big money on the sidelines that want a bigger piece of that pie, of that crypto pie. So I could totally see this being like a partially planned move to kind of get more acquire. But we should all be thinking like that in those moments, right? That's how we can fight back. Is all think the same way. I mean, depending on the asset, right? It's not financial advice because there's always another 50% down you can go. Gotta remember that.
And the
like
market
you were
can
saying,
stay,
like you were saying before with Chainlink.
yeah, just crazy. Also, another brief thing I'll bring up because we're talking about kind of like what happens this week. Polygon and Magic Eden announced a like creator fund where they're putting $1 million out there to fund projects that are on Polygon and new projects that want to come on Polygon to launch NFT projects. Like it could be, it's kind of open to different stuff, but like PFP projects mostly. And it was just announced yesterday to a lot of fanfare. I actually thought of GMI because I think GMI has the technology and GMI has the devs, it has the talent to be able to put together a PFP project or something dope and pitch it and get a grant from Magic Eden and Polygon. I was like, Orium Network, we've talked about it, just trying to figure out like, hey, is there like a vector where we could get into this and it'd be like kind of cool. So I would definitely tell you to check it out. Actually, I'll put a post of it. Let me find it.
I'm interested
Yeah,
for sure.
so you can check it out.
Ooh, I see those fire shorts in the back.
Oh yeah, those are
Boxers.
my. I got the boxers, I got the shorts, I got the hat, I got the a black shirt, and I got the comic book. I will say, I'm a little disappointed with the comic book. Not with the comic book itself, but the shipping. Whoever shipped it, like
Oh.
they put it in a weird way. The comic was in the box, so when I got it, the comic instant has like a crease in it, and it's like no, it has like protective, like front cover to prevent that, but it was creased, so it's like it's like a
That's
little
your user
creased.
copy now. Now you gotta get like
Yes,
another
I have to get
pristine.
another one. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get Lost Local to send me another one tomorrow. But it was like I got it all. I haven't worn any of it, and I figured I was telling my girlfriend right before it came live. She's like, don't you think it's weird that you have underwear in the background? I'm like, well, it's either that or I wear them on stream so that people know I have them. I'd rather keep them in the background.
Well, I mean, it does catch your eye because you do see the underwear, but then it's like, what's on the underwear? That's what you really need to know.
That got you.
That got you.
I'm dropping the link into our chat now. Let's drop it here. This is for the creator fund. If anybody's interested, 100 million. Oh, not 100 million. 1 million creator fund. There is no bear market on Polygon. They're still building and investing. So check it out if you're a creator, project dev or anything like that, and you have a good idea.
Yeah, I actually got some bullish Polygon news. We might have talked about it before, but they have recently launched a decentralized ID service powered by ZK Proofs. So ZK ID.
Is that like officially like up and running?
So I think this is still very much like in the early testing phase. You can use it, but like I don't think there are very many services that would actually this would work with. It says here, a decentralized identity service will roll out to an estimated 4 million users via Polygon ID's launch partners, including Collabland, which probably didn't work out because I think it probably had to do with the DAO, right? Maybe. The Sandbox, a metaverse game, Fractal, an identity solution, and Kaleido, a Web3 infrastructure firm.
Yeah, I think that's gonna, like any kind of decentralized proof of ID is gonna be huge because it helps bridge the gap a little bit between like the normies and like us, like the ability to still be able to stay anonymous, but without having a central authority holding everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to figure out here how they do it specifically, but basically the zero knowledge proofs are what you would use to verify your identity. You wouldn't be giving out your information anymore to like, when you sign up for a Google account, you gotta hand over your cell phone number or like some sort of piece of personal information. You would just be handing over a key, basically, like a public key to verify.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to find this thing because this is very pertinent. The ApeCoin DAO, it was made by apes. Let me see if I can find it. Made by
apes.
They made it so that people had to KYC. Here it goes. I found it. Zach XBT actually made this. I'll bring it up over here. This post is by Zach. Just turn my camera on down here. Yeah, you can see me. Yeah, so basically, people who signed up for this initiative and had to KYC, their personal information was leaked, including stuff.
Shit.
Yeah, full name. Like you see it here. Like I think the social security number is in there as well. So it was bad. Like, and this is exactly why we need something like you said, ZKID, to prevent this, because this is a major liability. If you're gonna KYC. Yeah,
that's a hard cringe.
And these are people who are like, they're trying to run businesses. Like these aren't small fries, like, with no money. These are people who are trying to like do bigger shit in the ecosystem, and getting doxxed like this is just bad. Like home address, that like the whole nine, like just awful.
Fuck. I mean, that's a whole nother level of leakage, because that's like all their information in one place leaked out. That's, yeah, but again, like you said. Oh yeah, and look, has felony, true. Says even if you have a felony or not.
Yeah, which is like a whole other thing. Who the hell is this guy that's like what they do that they're asking for some money?
Yeah, seriously. So yes.
Although I do believe in the reform of prisoners, that's the whole. The only reason to send people to jail is reform, rehabilitation. So just because you have a felony doesn't mean necessarily that you're a piece of shit.
Right. Exactly. But this is why we need Polygon IDs, because nobody needs to know that. It's none of their business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I kind of had to do with that. And while we're on the topic of ID, WorldCoin is the big conversation these days, right? So Sam Altman is the guy who created ChatGPT, is the brain behind OpenAI, and now you can scan your eyeball and you can get some of this WorldCoin. So WorldCoin could be like your so World ID runs on Ethereum and stands to potentially give developers working in crypto a new way to establish whether they're a real person behind a transaction.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, you see the established identity has held back many aspects of crypto, like voting on an on a per person basis. Establishing credit scores, I don't know. When you start talking like that, I'm just like, I don't know, man. It makes me feel uncomfortable. The Polygon ID thing sounded a lot more, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a Polygon maxi at this point. But their solution seemed a little bit more trustworthy. But they're both going to live on decentralized chains. So this is an interesting point to make. Both identity services will live, one's on an Ethereum, not on an Ethereum main chain, but both of them run on a blockchain. That doesn't necessarily imply that both are going to be decentralized identity solutions. So that's something to keep an eye out for, because I think we're going to have to, this is going to get serious at some point.
Yeah. You see here, I have on my screen the picture of the orb, the soul sucking orb. I don't know, man. Like this looks cool, but I also think eye cancer immediately. Like
Yeah.
I would not want to put my face up to this thing.
Yeah, it's beaming something out, or at least, I mean, at least scanning your eyeball, right? I mean, that's kind of, it feels invasive. It doesn't, it feels clinical, and I wouldn't, I don't know, man. You can pay me to do this. You
Yeah,
cannot
this
pay
is
me.
what like in 2050, what like robotic fleshlight is gonna look like. It's gonna be one of these orbs where it just downloads your like genetic sequence.
Yeah, it knows you more than you know yourself. It's your daddy. It's your everything. It's your, yeah, seriously. It's
So let
not
me ask,
something I
like,
want to support.
yeah, with this orb, right? Do you like you don't need to own an orb, right? You go to a place that has a center, I'm assuming like a like a headquarters, and you go and use the same orb as like 50,000 other people. Is that how it works, or do you need to buy an orb and then it's stored there in some decentralized way?
I think you go to places to scan the orb. So the orbs are going to be everywhere. So does that mean like I'll be one of the unscanned? Like I'll be one of the unscanned. So do I have to walk around with like a blindfold or some sort of like a? I have to walk around with shades everywhere. Is that why everyone's wearing shades in the Matrix? Because they got these eyeball scanners everywhere.
Well, I'm thinking that instantly made me think of Men in Black, where you get the
Mhm.
eyeball, like where they flash you and you lose your your temporary short-term memory goes off.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, I mean, there's layers to this. Like, look at this. Actually, it says here a private alpha version of World ID actually ran on the Polygon blockchain. So Polygon has their ZK solution, but then there's other ID solutions that people are trying to build on Polygon as well. So here's some of the spaces they see this WorldCoin eyeball being used. Social networks. Oh, so social networks. So maybe there is a way you can have like a handheld eyeball scanner.
Well, it's probably your phone. Like
Yeah,
the camera in your phone would probably be fine enough.
I guess that already is. It's probably scanned my eyeballs a few times already. Credit protocols and compliance. Compliance can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't like that, man. I
Eh,
will hell no. Like hell no.
Look at this thing,
I would
man.
have to.
Trying to buy your groceries
It's
at Costco, and you gotta go look at this, stare at this thing.
yeah. This is dystopian, as dystopian as it gets. Like this is some Orwellian shit right here.
Yeah. Let us know, friends. What do you think about WorldCoin? I want to hear about it. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not willing to let somebody scam my retina for like $50 essentially of some shit coin. That's probably dumping right now anyway, right?
Yeah. The Africans are dumping on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's where they're actually trialing it in Africa, which is the other thing. Is WorldCoin is like in full force being implemented in communities in Africa. And like no, like you're saying, no future. They give them some money for a few tokens, tokens or $50 worth of tokens, and they're happy with that there. But they use that data to iron out the kinks and then come over here to the West and try and roll it out. But like, I know a lot of people like you that have already, we've had this conversation and they've said they would never use this. So it seems like there's going to be some resistance to that. And it also seems like the market's also going to have some competition, and there might be a few identity solutions that end up competing. Like here, it also mentions in this article that there's other identity services on Polygon, like Unstoppable Domains, Disco, Ethereum Name Service, ENS, which is also off the main chain. So there are other identity solutions that already, like in a very primitive form, already exist. I just think people will not support this enough and will be willing in this case to probably try something else. So
Yes, yeah, I have this image of the orb, And it does look interesting. It looks like an interesting bit of tech here. I just don't know. Ah, man. This is literally like one step before you get downloaded into the Matrix. Like, it's no.
Yeah. Well, I've seen footage
no.
in Australia of people taking down these. They kind of look like flat orbs, and what they do is, if you're speeding, it actually directly tickets your bank account. Like, it takes that money out directly as part of like this traffic enforcement system. And what people have been doing is like taking them down, right? Just cutting the cord, or they'll just like break it in some way and disarm it. So I like these WorldCoin things. They don't look totally impervious to that, in my opinion. Like, if someone really didn't like this thing, you know, I see it all the time downtown where I live. It's like the security cameras are always a target. You know, all these like little surveillance things are always a target by people, and so if it's not durable, they're gonna have to come up with some durable glass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a. I'm trying to find it on Twitter now. It's like this guy who posts. He's like an anonymous account, and he has like a basically like, oh yeah, this is a good example of people removing the cameras. This guy has like a shed or like a storage unit, and he posts to it constantly. He's like, it takes them like several hours and, you know, like hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to put up this camera. It takes me 2 seconds to take it down. And he had a whole like storage shed full of these fucking cameras. And it's like, dude, like, I respect that, but if you get caught, they're going to throw you under the jail. Like, it's like so much money, like public funds just being wasted by this one guy knocking out their surveillance system. But, you know, I get it. I don't advocate for it, but I completely understand, because it is very Orwellian. Like, look at this. Like, tell me this image right here does not look like an orb. It's an orb,
Yeah,
except
it's an
that,
orb.
you know, the government owns it.
It's an orb, man. I'm not okay with that.
Just get used to being spied on. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I think that privacy aspect is kind of inevitable. That, you know, we're public privacy, like, privacy is not going to be as much of a thing in the future. But the big kind of like the diversion that will happen right now between the two realities, will it be centralized, you know, all centralized surveillance? We're a surveillance state, you know, like what you're showing there, or we become decentralized, we become network state, and governments become, they still exist, but they become much smaller. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but it really depends on if people come together or not. You know, if we don't, then I think we'll be weaker and easier to conquer as a society, and we'll become controlled by centralized powers that be. I see my cows back
crazy
here in the studio with us here.
Angel Fire Surveillance Project. No, that sounds intense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Mike Callium, if you weren't here at the beginning, you should
yo.
check out the Creator Fund. Hey, what's up?
Welcome, friend.
Oh, I saw that Creator Fund. Interested in it. I don't know if it sounds like shit or not. I'm sitting here at Chicago at the airport right now. En route. I'll get to Vegas at like midnight, and then I drive 3-hour drive home. So hopefully home by 3 a.m. Been like a 24-hour day. We started the morning in Ireland. And so just a little exhausted, a little sick, I think. I don't know. Dirty Dublin got me. But the Angel Fire surveillance project, it started in Afghanistan and Iraq, and then they brought it domestically here stateside. So what it is, basically they created a concept of flying a surveillance airplane at low altitude constantly, 24/7. They never stopped. And so as soon as it ran out of gas, another one would show up to take its spot. So that way the surveillance never dropped out. And what they were using it for in wartime was specifically when IEDs would go off. So an IED would go off and blow up a convoy. Then they would be able to rewind it until they found the individual that was on that road 2 to 3 days prior, and then track him back a couple days prior to figure out which house he came out of. And so that way they basically were recording everything all the time. So that way when something bad happened, they could rewind time and see where the origin of it came from. It was really effective. It worked really well over there, and there's pros and cons of that kind of surveillance. What was interesting was when they decided to bring that project domestically. So they were running in Cleveland for a little while there, and essentially they're using it to target gang crime, stolen cars. They had great success with abductions, child abductions. Anytime a child got abducted, they're able to rewind and follow as well into forward time to see where you were. The caveat is that it means that every last one of us is underneath the angel fire eye all the time. And so, where's your trade-off? It's a hell of a discussion.
Yeah, that's intense right there. I don't know if I like that. I don't want to be constant. I do a lot of weird shit, man. I don't need the government knowing about all the stupid stuff I do while I'm walking around. Nothing illegal, just weird.
Man, I just think it has to be a two-way street.
I know.
If they want to know everything I'm doing, I want to see what Obama does at night. I just want like a TV screen. I just want that to show up.
You're crazy, man.
I want to see what Donald Trump does on his weekends.
See, maybe that, but there's a lot of I don't know if you've seen all these recent. I'm not going to go into it either because I don't believe any of it. But all the stuff that Obama's brother has been saying recently, I definitely do not want to see what he's doing at night.
Oh man!
And then just kind of on another, similar vein here is the IoTex. If y'all haven't explored the IoTex blockchain, it's a pretty neat project. They're really focused on Internet of Things, is hence the IoTex. Yeah, and so it's a very decentralized blockchain. It's military grade. The U.S. government's been sniffing around it because they like it, because it seems relatively secure compared to all other platforms. One of the neat things that IoTex as a blockchain did is they funded development of the idea of decentralized hardware. And so one of the first products that they designed and produced was a surveillance cam, webcam, a little bit like the Rings, the door cams. And so what was neat about this, or their market fit for this is the Ring and the Google Nest and these other comparable home surveillance systems get a little bit of a bad rep every now and then because they get cracked, right? And other people besides you suddenly have access to your internal home feeds. That's terrifying. And there's been plenty of reports of people who have had people that they don't know come in on their Ring microphones and talking to people in their own homes that they've never met. And so those can be hacked because they're centralized. They're on the servers. And so that you are allowing them to see you, and then they relay the feed back to you. And so it's not actually private or secure. And that's where IoTex, the camera, is very unique because it's a local network only. There is no outbound, nothing. It's you straight to the server of your designation or even local hard drives. And it is explicitly your decentralized, private self-custody surveillance system, which we're going to need.
Yeah, totally. 100% agree there. I think surveillance states have already been exposed with data breaches so many times already that I think at this point, finding a solution that is decentralized, but at the same time, I'd like to see something where there isn't a purely human component, because that's a lot of developers know this. It's the point of failure for a lot of these things is the human being that created them. It's maybe there has to be, I've been looking a lot into artificial intelligence, and maybe that could be a companion if we have the right decentralized infrastructure in place to have AI verification elements and stuff that are not humans.
Yeah, we are the weakest link. I don't know, man. We're so screwed. We're just going down, we're already down that path. We're not doing well.
Gotta hit rock.
Also, if you're watching the stream, you see me playing a game. This is Boomland. I've become addicted. I just like the game a lot. I have to finish these hunts before the end of the night, or I'm not going to be able to. I lose out on the ability to hunt, basically, like wasting my hunts because they reset.
Would you be able to give like a little kind of high level of what Boomland is for anybody who's just joining?
Yeah, it's a. So this is free. There's a free to play version of this, and then this is I actually own Hunters, which are the NFTs. It's a I don't know what type of game this is. Like I guess it's a battler game. You actually use an attack button. You just move around the map and you auto attack. Like your player, like you see here, is just going around smacking the enemies and getting basically points, which are go towards leveling up. You see the level at the top there, and as you level up, you get different benefits. Like I just added a damage reflection benefit. Yeah, and it's a timer game. Like it's 3 minutes, 4 players, kind of a battle royale, except you're not playing against each other. You're playing against the monsters, and you want to just beat out the rest of the players and get have the highest score or survive until the end. So right now I'm leading in this one. I got to get out of here because they're gonna fuck me up. Run. Yeah, this one is on Polygon. This is called Hunters on Chain, and I like it because it's actually also a mobile game. This is made on Unity, and I own some of the NFTs now, so it allows me to play. I earn BGem, which is used for you can basically use it to get loot boxes and get other stuff, and then they have a governance token called Boom, which you get. You can buy on, well, you can't buy on the secondary. I've been trading at OTC with people because that's the only way to upgrade. But they're gonna be doing like an IDO or something soon for it.
I like that it's active real time, that it's not an idler. It's not something you just passively do on the side, that you have to engage in it. You have to actually fire it up. The auto attack's fine. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. How involved are the NFT themselves in terms of gameplay effect? Do they have a realm of wearables? Are you signing transactions when you're within the game realm itself, or is it kind of like its own self-contained system, and then it's just relaying things up to the chain, or is it even really utilizing?
I believe it's using the chain. The only transaction you do is to sign in. And then everything else is when I win battles and I earn BGem, it just goes straight to my wallet. The thing that impresses me about this game is the whole game is run on Sequence Wallet, which, you can sign in and out of this wallet via your Google account. So I've never seen that before. I know it's a newer thing, or Nani has spoken about to me. So it allows me to basically log in from any computer or log in from my on my phone without actually attaching a wallet, which I think is amazing. So all I have to do is, this is on Polygon. If I buy the asset, like I have, once I win this battle, it ends in 5 seconds. So hopefully, no, fuck.
Yeah, I think I set up my Sequence wallet live with you last time, and it was really easy actually to set it up.
Yeah, really easy. If you have a Google account, you can do it. I'll show you right now. So you can play the free to play version if you don't own the NFTs, but if you buy the NFTs, every day these hunters get a certain number of hunts they can do. So I have 4 hunters at this point. You can check over here. This is my best one. It's a legendary. I paid 500 Matic for this. The uncommon was I think 60 Matic, and then the commons go for 25, 30 Matic. You get a certain number of hunts. So this one gets 5, where this guy gets 14 hunts a day. So you go out.
Okay.
What you can do is the NFTs they basically sell that you can get on Magic Eden or OpenSea are artifacts or shards. The shards allow for upgrades. The artifacts allow, you can put, once you reach certain levels, you can put an artifact in, and it boosts your basically changes the metadata of the hunter. So for this one here, I used one of the legendary upgrade shards. I'd pay a certain amount of boom, and then it upgraded. So this guy's metadata changes. Now he can hit more. He has better life, and all of his stats improve. So
cool. That's really cool, actually. Yes, that's genuinely on-chain upgradable NFTs and active gameplay. Well done. Well found.
Yeah. So you earn BGem every time you win. When you're spending your BGem is to basically buy chests, which are like loot box. So I'll buy one now. This is an actual transaction on chain. I buy this loot box. It's gonna cost 50,000 BGem, but with my legendary, I can earn 9,000 BGem every time I come in first place. and do 14 of them a day. So it adds up pretty quickly. I just purchased the chest, and it's going to come with some kind of loot in it. So these cheaper ones only have like, see, I got a rare celestial pack. I don't even know what that is, but I think this is a shard, which will allow me to upgrade. Yesterday, I bought a, where was it? I bought this one, the magical chest. And from that, I ended up getting, in terms of equipment, all of this stuff. Like, currently, I'm not sure how to equip this stuff because I'm still learning the game. But yeah, it has like little wearables. It has stuff that you could feed the guy to change the stats. It's actually really cool. I like it a lot because this is what I hope that Aavegotchi moves towards once it launches its mobile Unity game.
Are y'all spending any actual time or energy on Gachi Heroes? The actual, not the demo run, but the proper assets?
I do not. I have a lot of assets too. I bought a whole bunch of packs, but I haven't played it.
Yeah.
If it kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, same.
Damn,
boat.
really? Both of y'all. Yeah. I don't know. I just haven't had any time here lately. The LP is the only thing I've been doing. The G Hero. I think it's interesting, but yeah, it's our own ecosystem still hasn't quite delivered yet in a functionally useful game that's fun to play. That idler shit, it's not fulfilling.
I can taste it though, man. It's close. Like, I know, like Future said, the Unity tower defense game built by Pixelcraft, I feel it's gonna be a hit. And then for the DAO that I'm really excited about, actually two that I'm excited about, the sandbox experience with Gachi Farmy, I know it's gonna be good, and the Oliver Spoon's dungeon crawler. I'm curious to see how that's gonna turn out. So those are the two that I'm personally stoked about. But
let me just get a quick status update from you guys too, because the very last real thing I saw on Snapshot when I was still paying attention was it looked like we were finally getting ready to send the OVIX in that story. And did that go smoothly? Is that done and gone and no one cares anymore? That's finally officially over?
It's over, but I would say it did not go smoothly because OVIX kind of backed out of the promise it made.
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic. Did they dump on us?
I don't know that they dumped, but I know that they basically they made an agreement to have
Did they not do
return-
Migos fulfillment?
Yeah, they had that proposal for that, and then they backed out of it. Like they put another proposal retroactively to disregard that proposal.
Hell yeah. Yep. No, I'm so happy to hear that, actually. I think that's hilarious. That is the funniest shit ever, is you're watching like a baby learn how to DAO.
not even, dude.
And so
That's
they're-
an on-chain sacrifice by the sword. They're not a DAO.
Yeah.
That is
Oh,
on-chain
already?
proof.
They're already... Yeah, well, exactly. Well, I don't know. If anything, they might be more DAOish than anybody out there. They're realizing, fuck any decision. If we make a decision, we can reverse it tomorrow. Who cares? Like, we're obligated to anything. If we pass new that says, don't do the thing we said we were going to do yesterday, then that's still real, right? Like, it's crazy to me that that's how they've immediately latched into this DAO mechanism as a community is, oh my gosh, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
they
it's
took- yeah.
insane. They also were supposed to join me on a Twitter space that Lost Local got me on. I'm on that space like pretty much every day now. The GM Degens, GM Polygon, and it was going to be a gaming one with OVIX, representing DeFi. And then the news of them backing out on their deal came out that day. And in the Gachi Discord, I was like, oh, I'm about to fucking tear them apart. And they never showed up to the space.
I will say, OVIX is one of the strangest things I've had to deal with here lately. Because one, I never wanted anything to do with them. Two, somehow they found a way right into our mouths. And three, I cannot believe how much widespread ecosystem support and like enthusiasm they receive, because they're terrible.
Thing on ZK EVM that's DeFi, right? Outside of
I am waving people off, like, because that's what people are over there. Oh, cool! Look, it's like, no, not that. Like, I was excited to hop on ZKVM initially, and the first fucking thing in front of me was them. So it's like, well, never mind. I'll wait.
So that's how low the bar is on ZKVM right now. So anybody that's going to deploy anything, just deploy it over there, because you will be a hit.
Gosh, yes. Anything functioning at all, if you just port it right now, you'll be a star. ourselves included, find
Yeah.
something that we can just fork and we'll go do it. I'm actually, once I get back on terminal, which should be like the second week of September, I'm gonna look really hard at Gitcoin's front end that they've recently released. I don't know how much y'all been keeping up with the whole Gitcoin fiasco, but it's time to fork it. So they've done great work on their product design. The product flow is good. Their protocol that they've built is functioning, but they're getting way out from left field. And
What
so
was
I want to
the-
fork
what was
it and
the
just do a
failure
little
point
mini
there, in your
Gitcoin.
opinion?
Shell, the Shell endorsement. As soon as they partnered with Shell and took oil money from Shell, and I'm watching them, you'll appreciate this very well, Hefe, because you took the time to try to spend some understanding with me inside the Nori circle.
Yep.
And so I was in a position to defend to true decentralists why it was okay that we were working with Bayer. You know, Bayer being the largest pharmaceutical agrochemical company on the planet, you know, the owners of Monsanto,
Right.
and quite honestly, like responsible for many of the terrible, some of the worst things that have ever happened in agriculture in human history is underneath their brand.
Mhm.
And so for them to have partnered with Nori and for that to be a cute partnering, it felt very sacrilegious, and it felt very much sellout in a lot of ways. And the community read it perfectly. They're just like, what the fuck is this? And it was really hard to get people to buy in to the fact that this was a good idea. And now with me, even in retrospect, looking back, I'm like, my God, I was part of the problem. I was part of the labor force responsible for spinning an inauthentic presence of Bear inside of the quote unquote crypto space. They could give a shit less. They're just trying to whitewash themselves, greenwash themselves in their case.
Yep.
And now we're watching Shell do the exact same thing with Gitcoin. It's a $500,000 donation. It's a drop in the bucket for Shell, and they've made more in profits than that just for the things that they get away with. But they have essentially co-opted Gitcoin's quote-unquote reputation brand, and ironically, Shell's not the one being brought up to higher standards with it. Gitcoin sacrificed a hell of a lot of social capital, and they
Wow.
really stepped in it, and they've been walking it back since they announced it. And it's, you know, what's even more funny though, y'all love this, is there are maybe 2% of the people inside the Gitcoin community, Kevin Owaki being the loudest one, who all he keeps doing is raising his hand and just screaming, get into the DAO forums then. Like, get into the DAO forums and throw an opinion out there. Give us a better idea. Communicate with us as a protocol community before we make mistakes like this. Like, don't show up after we've screwed up. Like, get involved and make us have a better sense of direction. They have a 0% participation in their governance community. Like you think we got apathy? We're some of the most active DAO members ever, even when none of us care. We still are more active and participatory than anything happening over there. These guys are supposed to be public goods, trying to change the world and stuff. So I don't know. It's just,
Wow.
it's like I'm getting really cynical since I got laid off in April. I've become interested and intrigued with the idea of playing the devil's advocate. And No Future, you're like my role model in this regard. Like I have so much fun following along with your teardowns, and like I'm happy to be the loudest one to say fuck you, Utes. See, you know, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, we don't need these things that aren't contributing in useful, functional ways.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of people working so hard to convince others why they are a good idea or a good product or deserve your support. Like, the work has to speak for itself, and we're getting really far away from that here recently. It feels like, to me personally, it feels like we're back into Shill City, and it's really just about who can spin up the most hype, regardless of what you've actually even built.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
there's
feel
also.
like 100%.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree. It's definitely one of those things. But I would also say don't FUD Utes too much, because now I have a bag, and I'm gonna flip it. I have no conviction for it, but I do have a bag. So let me get out of that position before.
Let him
Oh, we
sell
can-
the bag
we can-
before we
Oh yeah, man, we can play good cop, bad cop all day long. You know, you can come out of it and, oh, I don't know, I did some thinking, and I don't know, there's a chance. I said, you're wrong. You would have sell it. I can't believe you're with them. And then when they're all like, yeah, we're rallying around our man, dump the top, and we'll both walk away.
Yeah, it's just it's a bad, like, crazy space that we're in. We're just talking about DAOs and everything. Actually, I see Hernani's here, and I would love to pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pivot.
Hernani, can you Hernani just dropped a post, a forum post proposal for the DAO. It's going to be a sick prop hopefully soon, and he's going to talk about it tomorrow. Hernani, do you want to talk about that now? Your proposal?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I thought I actually had to request to speak or something, so I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me. How's everyone doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Yeah, this is something that we have been working for a few months now, and it's essentially the culmination of interacting with multiple rental protocols across multiple games. So at Orion, we have integrated with Avigachi, with Fancy Birds, Carmeth, Pegaxi, Axie Infinity, so many games at this point that I lost count. And what we have seen is that there is a clear use case for delegating the utility of your NFT or renting your, but there's no standard. There's simply no standard in the ecosystem. So a few weeks ago, we dropped a proposal for a standard for utility delegation within NFTs that was done in the Ethereum ecosystem. We sent that out to the Ethereum Foundation to approve. And now we are sending a proposal to the Avigachi DAO to essentially create a new rental protocol based on this proposal that we sent to the Ethereum Foundation. And the whole goal of this proposal is to use a standard of the ecosystem to rent NFTs and to be able to scale that same infrastructure to other NFT collections within Avigachi. So if you look at the rental market for Avigachi today, we are only able to create rental listings for Avigachi NFTs. And it's a little bit difficult for you to, again, scale that technology to other NFTs within Avigachi, like wearables and land. And we're going to essentially solve that problem with this proposal that we are putting up for DAO. So ultimately, the goal is for people to be able to, rent their Avigachis, rent their parcels, rent their wearables, and create new use cases with that, right? So imagine if during rarity season, people are able to rent out godlike wearables. That would be pretty dope. It would be a completely new mechanics to the very popular game deal we already have in place. Same could be said for landlords that have dozens or hundreds of parcels across the Gotchiverse, and then now they can create listings for their parcels. So yeah, very excited to be potentially contributing back to the DAO. And now we are waiting for feedback. We just posted across all the Avigachi channels. Tomorrow we will be at the Hangout talking about it. So yeah, excited to see what everybody has to say about it.
Oh man,
That's really interesting.
Bullish. That's all I can
Mhm.
say.
I remember that I saw when you were first discussing and dropped that. What are we calling this? What is your proposal EIP?
Yeah, it's called EIP 7432 non-fungible token roles.
Right on, man. It's like this is a level of infrastructure, architecture, and ecosystem contribution that we don't get to see a lot of within our little Avigachi ecosystem. We tend to be really focused on just our own little sphere, and I do applaud your ambition to try to actually make an impact across the whole entire space, not just explicitly to Avigachi.
Yeah, absolutely. But Avigachi has been really inspiring on that sense because if you look at what the project has delivered, it was one of the first to implement a truly on-chain rental system, right? So you look at Axie Infinity, if you look at Pegaxi, they all had centralized components to their rental infrastructure. And Avigachi was one of the few to start with a fully on-chain decentralized way for you to delegate that NFT utility. Again, like I said, unfortunately, I think that the implementation was very specific to the Aavegotchi use case. And when I say Aavegotchi, I'm talking about the Aavegotchi NFT, not the land parcels, wearables, etc. And because of that, it's a little difficult for you to create listings for all these other types of NFTs that already exist in the Aavegotchi ecosystem. But Aavegotchi has always been ahead of the curve, and yeah, that's why I love being a part of the community. And yeah, that's why I'm excited to be partially contributing back.
This is huge. I mean, I was just thinking of the possibilities as you were talking there, Ernani. Renting fake gotchis. Like, I just think of the impacts this could have on across all, like you said, across all the Aavegotchi markets. From switching up rarity farming season, adding this extra element of trading items, which, like, let's be honest, every like good MMORPG that I've ever played, you're able to trade items. So it's kind of strange that actually up until now that we haven't been able to really do that. But we can actually rent items out. Sorry, not trade. I meant rent items out and let people borrow items. Has always been doable, but now we can do it in a trustless way. So this is really cool, very innovative, and we might even see more. I could see more one-of-one fake gotchis. I'm just thinking on the art side of things.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of potentials on the art side as well, right? Let's say users, they want to do some sort of art collab or something like that. You can potentially just delegate your art to the same account, and they can showcase on the same land parcel in the Gotchiverse. So yeah, definitely a lot of different use cases for art as well.
Ernani, did you mention any of the revenue generation or anything like that in the plan?
Yeah, if you go to the proposal, there is actually a section that is named return on investment, and there I talk about different things, but also about the potential financial ROI of this proposal, right? And when I say ROI, I mean return on investment. So that's actually something that I've been a little bit hesitant of putting on the proposal, because I know that all you DJs out there, they want to see triple digits, right? If you don't see a triple digits APR, you might not get very excited. But this proposal, we are proposing to the DAO to essentially charge a royalty fees whenever tokens are exchanged in the rental market, something that is not done today. It's done at the bazaar, but not at the rental marketplace. And if we do that, we are essentially adding a new revenue stream for the DAO, right? So the DAO can actually make money out of this proposal that we are putting out there. And yeah, if you go through the proposal, we actually play with a little with a few different scenarios. If you have, I don't know, $500,000 of volume in the rental marketplace and a 3.5% royalty revenue, how much would that lead in terms of financial return for the DAO? So all these different numbers we play with the proposal in the proposal as well. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, it's also important to note that this is not just a purely financial ROI, even though there is a significant it's a significant component of the proposal. It's also about enabling more use cases, right? It's just so, like you were saying before, what can we do if we, potentially have rentals of art and yeah, other types of NFTs that are not available right now. So that aspect is also really important for the Aavegotchi community as well.
I'd love to ask you to walk me through your vision of the future if implementation goes perfectly and everyone's super enthusiastic and very supportive. What does it look like to incorporate this new standard into Aavegotchi? What kind of infrastructure overhauls are needed, or what kind of asset redesigns need to happen? Does anything fundamental need to happen to the original assets, or is this just a couple of lines of implementation?
Yeah, if you go to the proposal, we have a list of the deliverables that we need to essentially complete to finalize everything. There will be change required on the smart contract level, and that's something that we checked with with Pixelcraft. It's everything is doable. It's gonna be double checked by their team. But yeah, if approved, we have the expertise in house to deliver that. And to your central point, the main goal of this proposal is to deliver a rental marketplace with royalties with three NFT collections, right? So Aavegotchi NFTs, land parcels, and wearables, and that's what we want to focus on this proposal. And what we envision is essentially people building different use cases around these three NFT collections. So, for example, the arena, right? Uh, how does the arena looks like if you're able to rent different wearables? There are weapons in the arena, right? Suddenly you have a lot of people that are able to play with very powerful powerful items on the arena. So we have a much more competitive game. How does the land market looks like if landlords are able to essentially list their land for rentals for a very cheap price, right? Since there's not a lot of activity in the Gotchiverse, I can just put my land up for rental for like 10 cents, and that's suddenly completely remove the financial barrier of entry to the Gotchiverse. So that's what we envision is essentially allowing all these use cases to flourish in the Gotchiverse. And my ultimate goal, I really hope that we can make this come true in the near future, is that we have a game in the Gotchiverse that is a mobile game, and if you want to play that game, you can just go to the rental migrations that you can send a smart contract and get transaction with your credit card payment to rent an NFT, and then you jump the game app straight from the rental market, right? For Web3 onboarding in the future, that you just rent this NFT for really cheap, 50 cents, $1, whatever, and you go straight to the game. So no MetaMask transactions, no connecting, setting up your wallet, making sure that you have gas fees or anything like that. So really making it easier for people to get onboarded to the space.
I got lots of questions because I just haven't had the opportunity to dig into this. So Hefe and No Future, by no means, don't let me just keep dive, just keep running it here. But so Ernani, in your vision, this is an actual replacement for the current Aavegotchi rental market infrastructure, right? Would we be sunsetting that in lieu of this?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, that's bold. I like that. That's you're offering a better a total overhaul.
Yeah, it's an ambitious proposal, and but the reason that we propose that is because again, if you look at the implementation, the current implementation, it was very specific for the Aavegotchi NFT use case. It's even the whole rental logic is embedded within the Aavegotchi Diamond contract. So you have to replicate that logic across every NFT collection if you want to enable the same behavior. So it's a lot easier for us to essentially externalize that logic, centralize in a single external contract that's owned by the DAO, and then all the different NFT collections that the Aavegotchi DAO decides to enable lending, they can just reference that contract, or they just can very easily connect contract to enable that feature, right? So yeah, it's ambitious, but it's a very good path in terms of infrastructure for the future. The Pixelcraft team is working on Gotchi guidance, right? I don't know if new NFTs are involved, but if the DAO wants to launch a new NFT collection in the future and they want to enable lending, if we have this infrastructure in place, it's going to be very easy, very straightforward for them to enable those types of solutions.
Would you theoretically be able to even absorb other external Aavegotchi related protocols? I'm thinking of Gotchi Heroes, because Gotchi Heroes has the purchasable access passes essentially. Would we, if the DAO chose to support those within our new rental smart contract, we'd be able to absorb that asset as well, right?
I think, yeah, yes, we can definitely support that, but that's probably actually gonna be up to Gotcha Heroes, because correct me if I'm wrong, they issued that NFT, right?
Exactly correct.
Yeah, so it's up to them to essentially have asset or not. So yeah,
But
yeah,
but
we can definitely
yeah,
support it.
it would be that easy. So if they saw it and they loved it and they said, "Oh my God, we want to be a part of this," and the DAO was into their product, it would be pretty simple integration. Then it sounds like it will more so is we're not limited to just the Pixelcraft based NFTs. This could apply across whatever our DAO decides to support, as long as the designing team reciprocates.
Yeah, absolutely. We are at Orion. We are very focused on building like a standard for the industry. So something that we will be doing is creating libraries, so other developers they can very easily just import that functionality to their contracts or to their code. Yeah, we're gonna do tutorials. We're gonna do Medium articles. So something that we'll be working on in the next few months. It's what we call developer advocating, right? So we'll be building tools for developers to adopt these new open standards, because that's the only way that you will get, yeah, this type of standard to get accepted across the ecosystem.
Man, if you want to save me a lot of homework, you guys need to fork the Gitcoin front end too. I was just talking about this earlier with the guys, and it's something I want to look at because it's a good infrastructure for spinning up little mini startups and little community operated funds, creator funds within our ecosystem. It's not directly what you're talking about with the rental, but just hearing you talking about what y'all are building, it's obvious that y'all are the talent house to be able to do these major architecture overhauls that support our growing ecosystem.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's like I said, it's a very ambitious endeavor. we we need to have yeah, the adoption of multiple people in order for this to work. But at the same time, we feel that we did a good job explaining why we need this to happen, right? And yeah, hopefully I'll be there in the dog call tomorrow. Hopefully making a good case for why we need to adopt this. So yeah, I'm excited to see if the Avigotch community will be, yeah, will be pro or con this proposal.
Absolutely, yeah. And we are looking forward to that, friends. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. UTC, we'll be having the Avagachi Hangout with Pixelcraft, founders of Avagachi. That'll be the first hour, and then we get into the DAO call. And really looking forward to seeing this proposal being presented in front of the DAO. So that'll be there tomorrow, 3 p.m. UTC.
Yeah, it's going to be an epic one also because tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, we have that Init thing, the thing that's happening in Chicago, where I believe 2 or 3 of the summoning founders of Avagachi will be together at a gallery showcasing fake Gachi art. So it's going to be really exciting. I'm sure they'll call in from there and we'll be able to talk and just kind of like, promo a bit about it, but should be good.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And
I
then
fly out of Chicago in an hour and 20 minutes, man. I cannot believe I'm this close and I'm gonna miss the whole thing.
no, delay the flight, man. Just show up tomorrow. Be like, hey, my Callum showed up. One of the
Dude, we like I said, we get home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get something like 38 hours at the house, and then we leave for Burning Man for 2 weeks. This
Dang.
is gonna be the busiest, most intense August of my life.
Dang. Yeah. We'll enjoy it,
I
man.
I have a notebook, and I'm gonna be walking around trying to find some decentralists. I was referred by Chair about a fellow that's been going for the last 10 years or so. It's super heavy in the crypto space that I don't know, so I guess he's bigger than me or different than me. And so hopefully I'm able to track these people down and do some interesting stuff out there. I know Hefe, you mentioned wanting to maybe sit down and do a just kind of a big brain dump after I finally get back home and on the computer. There's so much to catch up with on all directions. I'm so curious about what all y'all are up to. Arnani, thank you for taking the time to just share that with us, because I know that you've been busy and working on some smart things, but now that I can hear it in detail, this should get good support. This should have
Mhm.
pretty easy grease on the rails, because it's a damn good idea, and yeah, I'm excited to see that one get live.
Yeah, I'm hopeful as well. We are definitely gonna have the opportunity tomorrow of get a more deep conversation about this. Thanks everyone for having me. Unfortunately, it's Friday night. I'll have to cut my time here short. But yeah, thanks again, and hope everyone have a good night.
Absolutely. Enjoy your evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap up in a second here, friends. But real quickly, I just want to say, Mycalium, guys, seriously consider the Polygon grant, because part of that grant, I think, is creators, projects. But we have something here at GMI that would win us some favor with them, in the fact that we can market it ourselves. We have people who know how to do that, content creators. So
Yeah.
definitely, we should definitely offline talk about this, because I think with our powers combined, we can get something done, maybe get some money and launch a project.
I think you're exactly correct, and I'm right there with you. So we're referring to that Magic Eden $1 million creator fund that was announced, right?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'm glad that you're aware of that. I'm glad you're on it. You've been paying more attention to Magic Eden and their arrival to the space, so you're a little more educated right now in the nuance of who they are and how they've been behaving and whatnot. I've been a little leery of them. The Solana migrants are always interesting to me. The authenticity. I get muted again, and so it's cool to see that it looks like they're really doubling down and investing in Polygon. That's where I'm realizing. That's where I'm getting all cantankerous in my old age, my old crypto age these days. It's either Polygon or bust. We put the time in. The work has been earned. We're here for a reason. This is intentional. Our presence in this space is intentional. All the stuff we've been doing with GMI is intentional. Everything we've been doing was on purpose, and so it'd be really quite a blessing if we can mature it into something useful. So I'm glad to hear that enthusiasm. Completely agree, and I'm happy to help in any way possible.
Dope.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. I didn't know if I was going to have free time to be able to catch this. I'm really glad I was able to hop in on this and just catch up with y'all. It's, again, major kudos for consistency. Like, it's the only thing that's we got to outlive the bastards. That's the only way that we win is we're just going to be here. I'm already meeting so many rookies now. I'm meeting so many people that are so much younger than us in the space, and they're already talking like veterans and battle scarred. And so, like, we're the next Sassels. We're the old hands here, and so I appreciate that y'all are able to stick it out and stick around.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thankful for y'all, and yeah, just looking forward to these future developments and everything ahead of us right now. It's an exciting time.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to sign off, friends. We might be experimenting with a format change next week. Maybe we're on Twitter and still here and also streaming. We're gonna fuck around and find out, as they say. So, friends, have a good night. Hefe, do you have anything else that you have to plug other than the hangout tomorrow and anything else?
No, man, that's all I got. Just it was a great episode. Looking forward to it. I'll get this on Spotify, and we'll make sure we get that out tomorrow. And thank y'all for joining us, friends. Everybody joining us live. We'll see y'all later.
Take it easy.